get ready to go. We're glad that you're all here, so now it's time to start the show. We're not in school, but we can still pretend by making music until this ends. We're making music with our Falcon friends.
Hey there, Falcons. Hope you're having a great week of school and hope you're ready to make some more music with our Falcon friends. Today, we've got new songs, we've got new activities, and we've got a really great project where you're going to get to make your very own musical instrument. You can even share your instrument after you've made it with a Flipgrid link I have below. I'd like to see some of those instruments. Now, you are going to need your parents' help. So when we get to that part about the instruments, please make sure you get your parents, because it's a fun project you can work on together. But you know what? Enough talking about it. Let's make some music.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
All right, fourth grade, we're going down south. We're not leaving the country. We're staying in America, but we are going down south because our song today comes from a state to our south. Do you know of any states in the south, right here in America, the southern states? There are many of them. And the song that we're going to sing today comes from the state of Alabama. How do I know that? Well, the name of the song is Alabama Gal. So I put two and two together, and there you have it. So Alabama Gal is the name of our song. Let me grab my guitar, and we're going to learn the first part of the song today. Alabama Gal goes like this. Come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, Alabama Gal. It's a fun song, okay? I'll sing it, you echo back. Come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, Alabama Gal. Something interesting there. Bama Gal. Trichord, right? Mi, re, do. Very good. Try that whole first verse. Come through in a hurry. Here we go. Come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, Alabama Gal. There is a second verse where part of it is changed, but it's very, very similar. It goes like this. I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how, Alabama Gal. Now, there were four phrases, and one of them was identical. It didn't change at all. Do you know which one was the exact same? The last one, exactly right. The last one is exactly the same. Alabama Gal, sing that. The first ones did change, Joe, but what was the only thing that changed? Did the rhythms change? Did the melody change? Well, not really, but the words did change. Instead of singing Come Through in a Hurry, now we're singing I Don't Know How. I don't know how. I don't know how. I don't know how, Alabama Gal. Simple, right? There's another verse. It follows the same thing. I bet we can figure it out pretty quickly, though. The third verse is, I'll show you how. Everything else is the same. Listen. I'll show you how, I'll show you how, I'll show you how, Alabama Gal. Let's try it together, guys. Whole thing. Here we go. I'll show you how, I'll show you how, I'll show you how, Alabama Gal. There's one more verse, and this is a great verse because you get to use really bad grammar, which you shouldn't really use, but in music you can because it's part of the song. Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Alabama Gal. You get to say ain't. Should you say ain't normally? Well, probably not. But in the song, we're going to let it slide this time, all right? Let's try that last verse. Ain't I rock candy? Here we go. Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Alabama Gal. Can we try the whole song starting at the beginning? Come through in a hurry. Here we go. Come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, come through in a hurry, Alabama Gal. I don't know how, here we go. I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how, Alabama Gal. I'll show you how, I'll show you how, I'll show you how, I'll show you how, Alabama Gal. I rock candy. Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Ain't I rock candy? Alabama gal. Nice job. Hey, you know what? Singing all this candy, I'm a little hungry for candy, so I'm going to go get a little piece of candy, and I'll be right back.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
Hey there, 4th grade. Well, I got my drink already. I am no longer parched, and I'm ready to sing. Our song about the water, our song about the canoe, more specifically. My paddle's keen and bright, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose light, dip, dip, and swing. Sing it and keep a beat with me. Here we go. My paddle's keen and bright, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose light, dip, dip, and swing. This time let's sing it and clap the words. Here we go. My paddle's keen and bright, flashing with silver. Follow the wild goose light, dip, dip, and swing. I had a picture of this too, remember? Remember our picture? Got our waves and we got our canoes. Let's point to the waves. Here we go. My paddle's keen and bright. Let's point to the canoes. My paddle's keen and bright. This time you pick. Here you go. My paddle's keen and bright. Whatever you point to, pick the opposite. Here you go. My paddle's keen and bright. Great. Now, hopefully you remember that song. Remember how we moved to it. Last week I answered a couple questions. And let me see if who's got a really good listening ears, who's got a really good memory, who remembers the answers to these questions from last week. First question, how many beats are in the first phrase of this song? Listen. Loo, 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 loo. How many beats do we keep there? Loo, 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 loo. 4 beats, exactly right. Last week I asked you if we split that in half, we'd have 2 beats and 2 beats. Remember that from last week? The last 2 beats, how many sounds do we sing? Loo, loo, loo. 3 sounds, right? Loo, loo, loo. And we said last week that those sound very familiar. Ta-dee-ta. 2 on the 3rd beat, 1 on the last beat. Ta-dee-ta. Exactly. The first 2 beats. How many sounds are on the first 2 beats? Loo, loo, loo. 3 sounds. Well, that's similar to the last 2 beats, right? 3 sounds and 3 sounds, but these 3 sounds aren't the same. This is not ta-dee-ta, this is something different. Because listen to the order. One of them is long, but which one is it? Loo, loo, loo. Do you remember? The middle sound is the long sound. That means that the middle one's long. The first sound and the last sound, well, they're not long, they are short. Short, long, short, ta-dee-ta. Sing that. Good, let's sing it and clap it. Short, long, short, ta-dee-ta. Great. Now, what we have here is a brand new rhythm. It's a 2-beat rhythm. It takes 2 beats to do it. It's not a half note, because a half note is just 1 sound. This is 3 sounds. And it's 3 sounds where they're not all the same. The first is short, the second's long, the last is short. Very tricky. Today, what I need you to get is something to write with and something to write on. I've got a piece of paper, and I've got a Sharpie. Use whatever you want. Get some crayons, get a pen or a pencil, whatever. What I want you to do is I want you to make a picture of these sounds. I want you to think about what you could use. What would be great for a canoe song? Well, you know, I can give you a little hint here. I drew this. The waves are the beat. Short, long, short, ta-dee-ta. The canoes are the sounds. Short, long, short, ta-dee-ta. What I want you to do is I want you to make your own picture that works perfectly like this picture. You got the 4 beats and you got all the sounds over those beats. See if you can make a picture. If you just want to copy this one, that's fine, but make it yourself. Or if you want to do something different, maybe instead of waves, you could use oars. Maybe instead of canoes, you could, I don't know, use something else. Be creative. You guys are very creative out there. So make a picture, and you can check to see if it matches up like we did with this one. Point to it, and it should match up with what you're singing. Short, long, short, ta-dee-ta. Where the first 3 sounds are over the first 2 beats, and the last 3 sounds are over the last 2 beats. Make your picture, have some fun, and try not to get too wet.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
All right, guys, we're gonna make an instrument today. Maybe you have instruments at your house, maybe you don't, but today you're gonna have another instrument after we're done making one. Now, what are you gonna need to make this instrument? Not too much, really. You're gonna need some scotch tape. You're gonna need scissors. You're gonna need a ruler. You're gonna need a glue stick. You're gonna need something like a paintbrush, or I have a drumstick, something that you can get this out of our construction paper, because you also need construction paper. What are we going to be making with this? How is this going to make a musical instrument? Well, maybe you've seen these before. BOOMWHACKERS. These are really cool. These BOOMWHACKERS are made of plastic, and when you hit them, they make a different pitch. Here's one. Here's another one. They make different pitches. We can do the same thing with these materials. So here's what we're going to do to get started. First thing, you're going to need to do some measurements, okay? I would recommend having different colored paper, because every note can be a different color. Makes it a lot nicer to look at, but also easier to know which notes we're making. Let's start with this orange piece. I'd like you to take a ruler. I would like you to measure. You need a ruler. You got to measure it to 9 1/8 of an inch. So go ahead and measure that. Get a marker or something to write with. Should have said that. And then you want to cut like that. Now this edge is 9 1/8 of an inch. Take your glue stick. You're not going to use it for gluing. You're going to use it for rolling. You're going to roll your glue stick like this. Now, this is where the tape comes in. You have a seam. What you need to do is tape very, very tightly. You need to make sure that it is taped completely. This cannot fall apart. This needs to be very strongly taped. So, get the tape and tape it. All right, now the tighter you tape that seam, the better. You don't want any air sneaking out except for the ends. Okay, now take the little pokey thing you have, whether it's a paintbrush or a drumstick or whatever, and you're going to get that glue stick out of there just like that. Okay, you now have one of these that's 9 1/8 of an inch long. Set that off to the side and grab a different colored piece of paper. This next one, you're gonna make another measurement. Get your ruler. This one's going to be 8 1/4 inch, as close as you can. Doesn't have to be exact, but try to be as exact as you can. And then you cut it. Once you have it cut, same process. You gotta tape it up again. Don't forget, use that tape and make sure it's really nice and tight. And get the glue stick out of there again. Now you have 2 different tubes. Time for another color. Grab another color. This one is going to be 7 1/8 inch. So grab your ruler, make a little mark, 7 1/8 inch, or as close as you can. Then you need to cut it. Take your glue stick, roll it up, and once again we tape it. We now have 3. Well, let's make another one. Another piece of paper. We're going to actually make 2 more. This one should be 5 5/8 of an inch. I'll have all these down in the description below just as a heads up, so you don't have to remember this. And then cut it. And then roll it. And then get that glue stick out of there. And we're going to make 1 more, because if we make 1 more, we can have our pentatonic scale. You need this one to be 4 7/8 of an inch. If you're not good with rulers, you will be after this project. And roll it up. And we tape. And get the glue stick out. Okay, we've got our 5 notes of our pentatonic scale. Let's test them out. Let's see what they sound like. Let's start at our biggest one. Should sound the lowest. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. There we go. We've got 5 different pitches. Now, what I want you to do is use that marker, whatever you were writing with. Let's label them. The biggest one, whatever color yours is, I want you to write do, D-O. Next one, I want you to write re, R-E. Next one, I want you to write me, M-I, special music spelling. Next one, I want you to write so, S-O-L. And final one, I want you to write la, L-A. And all this is in the description below. You now have a 5 set of boomwhackers, little mini-sized boomwhackers that you can use to make up some melodies. Give it a shot.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
All right, now you've got your set of pentatonic scale boomwhackers. Let's actually add to it. We know about octaves, we know about low la, and we know about low so. So you know what? We've already got a la and a so. Let's make a low la and a low so. Add some notes to our scale. So what you're going to need is the same color paper for la and the same color paper for so. For me, it was blue and this kind of purple color. I have some of that left. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with low la. For low la, you're going to want to measure 11 inches. And it's the exact same process as we did before. And then you roll. And then we tape. Get the glue stick out. There we go. And now we take the one for so, and this one has got to be 12 inches, the whole ruler. And cut it. And we roll it. Get the glue stick out, and now we've got 2 additional notes. We've got low la, which we'll mark. Low la. And we'll write low so. Right there. And now we can test them out. We've got perfect. You now have an extended pentatonic scale. Can you make all these boomwhackers? Well, if you can, post about it in the Flipgrid link below. Let's see what you came up with. Let's see what materials you used, what color your boomwhackers ended up being. Have some fun and make some music.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
All right, 4th grade. Remember last week we were writing out some notes? We were writing out our extended pentatonic scale. In fact, I have mine from last week. We started here on La, So, Mi, Re, Do, La. Remember we did that last week? La, So, Mi, Re, Do, La. We did that last week? La, So, Mi, Re, Do, La. You know, I actually want to write something. I want to make sure we don't forget it. La, So, Mi, Re, Do, and then low la. Okay? If I wanted to add one more note here, we could add one more. We could add low so. Low so is 1 step lower than low la, so you have to be a little tricky with this one. You've got to draw a line. If you have any space left, I'm really running out of space here. I can maybe make it work. Draw another little baby line right there, and the note goes right on that line. Now, you've got a lot of notes here. You've got quite a few notes if you add that one. So what I want you to do is make sure you write out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot of notes. 7 notes. Try to write them out. Make sure if you need to pause this right now, you can do that. And then just make sure you have this written out in this order. Really, really important that they are in this order. You got the 4th line. You got the 3rd space, the 2nd space, 2nd line, 1st space, underneath the 1st line, and on its own line. So take a look at this. Be very careful. Copy it. And make sure you label which is which. Okay, so go ahead and do that. When you have that done, we can do something really cool with this. Because remember, we just made an instrument, didn't we? We just made an instrument. And in fact, the instrument that we made, the boomwhackers, actually are all of these notes. It's actually all of these. So the first one we have is la. It's our smallest one. Oh, one dropped. Okay. Then we have so, which is the next biggest one. Then we have me, which is next one. Then re. Then do. Then we've got lo la. And finally we've got the big one, lo so. You have 7 different Boomwhacker tubes that you made along to go with your 7 different notes. So what I want you to do is practice playing this on your Boomwhackers that you made, okay? So practice playing this first. Once you can play this, there's something really cool you can do. You can take these notes and mix and match them. You can move them around. You could start on low so. That could be your first note. You can start anywhere you want. What I want you to do is to try to pick these notes one at a time and put them in a different order. So maybe do will be first. Then you can go to so. Then go to me. Then go up to la maybe. Move them around. Once you have them written out in a different order, take your Boomwhackers and see if you can play what you wrote. You should have them labeled. Remember how we labeled those? If you have them labeled, you should be able to play them pretty easily on your Boomwhackers. See if you can round out some different patterns. See if you can play those different patterns. And once you can do that and you're pretty comfortable with that and you had some fun with it, see if you can write one out and teach someone at your house how to do it. You can say, well, these are the Boomwhackers that go with these notes. Tell them which note is which one and see if they can play it. See if you can trick them. See if they can have some fun. All right? So use your Boomwhackers, make some music, and have some fun.
We're making music with our Falcon friends.
Well, we sure had fun this week, didn't we? So, until next time, grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter pat? And the happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over.